Welcome everybody, this is Nizrex Sins, and I just wanted to start out to say thank you and welcome back. It's been a while since I did a formal, thank you, I guess, and it's mainly because that I don't really think outside of my own little box, if you will. I hope everybody's having a great day. If you're not, I'm trying to make it better, it's okay. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about a few things, kind of get the podcast going. I don't really have any, how do we put this, announcements, other than I'm going to try to stream. I think I'm going to try to stream around maybe 10 o'clock on Fridays. If it's not going to be at 10 o'clock on Fridays, it might be sporadically. Just kind of look for my tweets or my Twitch alerts, like turn your notifications on. Maybe that's what I was asking. I'm not going to say that, but Twitch is doing the thing right now, and if you weren't around for it, Twitch kind of rolled out some new rules for Twitch affiliates and how they can get money, basically. I say that kind of there's a lot of ways to get money on Twitch, but sponsors and sponsor streams and things like that were kind of the forefront of everything. And now people are kind of, hesitating. Basically, it's another moment where Twitch is like, hey, we don't like what you're doing on our platform. It is our platform, and here we're putting our foot down for no reason. It's basically one of those. And looking back to see what was going on, they were kind of trying to crank down the excessive ads. We're not what is that damn movie called? Ready Player One, trying to get 90% of ads on the screen before the person has a seizure. Seizure. We're not gonna call it anything else. So I kind of humbled myself earlier today, just kind of a off topic, out of the list kind of thing. Yeah, just me and you talking kind of thing. I'm just talking to myself. It's funny. I'm keeping to this podcast a lot better than I'm keeping to my workout regimen or my eating habits or hell, payment plans on credit cards and things like that. It's hilarious. But to shift that, to actually talk about one of the things I wrote down was, with making a podcast, you kind of end up listening to other podcasts. And with that being said, there's one that my wife got me on called Shits and Gigs, and how they spell it is safe for work, I guess is the best way. It's like SHXTS or SHXTS, yeah, TZ or something like that. Basically, this podcast is just two guys broing out the entire time, and I'm enjoying it. It makes me miss having a co-host on podcasts or interviewing people or trying to get topics down people's throats without them not knowing anything, get the raw information from it. But they do an IG question, and they kind of start the podcast like that. And I'm going to try that next week to see if I can bait people, basically, into, I would say TikTok, because they're doing that a lot on TikTok right now. But the algorithm, I guess you could say, I'm trying not to hesitate too much. The formula, there you go, for most of these videos are attention in the first part of it, and then illustrate your point. So basically, they're going to start out something saying, hey, I got fired for that one thing. And then they'll turn around and say, oh, it all started 10 years ago when I joined customers. Legitimately how they do it. Or the way that Shits and Gigs does it is they'll, mid-conversation, they're just like, and they did what, bro? And they did what? And I'm so sorry for yelling into the mic, especially this quiet. Basically, they do that, and then they rewind it, and then they kind of, it's almost like that whole thing where you take a segment of your show and put it at the start, and people have to find the context for it. It's a weird dopamine rush once you actually connect the dots. So I mean, people have found their ways to do things, and I give them credit for it, but it's just another WTF moment, I guess. It's just like, should I do this? Should I not? I don't know. It's definitely something I wanted to look into and try. Maybe next week, maybe on a bonus. Because I was trying to do content for the background. By the way, guys, my last video is up. Is last week's podcast about me talking about Elden Ring and things like that is posted, and I kind of feel bad because I went back and edited the video for it, and I was just like, this is really bad quality for what I was talking about, and there's like no context. I don't have the video in front of me to actually line up everything I was doing. Oh boy, it was bad, and it's like raw dogging it from the get-go. Like, I have no intro, I have a little bit of an outro, kind of just from the podcast itself, and I threw this like random guitar riff that I had in there. But topics I wanted to get to today, because my ADD is not going to let me rest because I'm staring at it, is that the Jamie, what, do I even practice talking? There's some voice actor lessons I need to try out, because holy fuck. Gaming show cases of Nintendo and Xbox. I know what I'm talking about. So the gaming showcases happened this past week for both Xbox and Nintendo. So it was like the Nintendo showcase, and they showed some games that they're planning to bring out. Xbox did the same thing, but Xbox specifically showed a director's cut, basically a director's interview of Starfield, and I believe it's Starfield. I hope it's Starfield. Something like that. It's the Skyrim of space, basically. And it's supposed to I have a lot of S's in this, I'm so sorry. Anyways, it's supposed to be the next big thing for Bethesda and all that. And, you know, it took me a long time to figure out the Bethesda name. Bethesda? I don't remember what I used to call them. And I really wanted to focus on the whole... I don't even know the name of the game properly. Starfield? I'm gonna be that guy and look it up. So I was wanting to look up the showcase or the directive on the game, and wanted to talk about it, and you know, to make it is still Starfield. Okay, I'm not crazy. I remember the original thing I did for Starfield. I was just like, oh, is this just like another battle royale? That didn't make sense. Yeah, they did the director announcement. Where is it? I don't have it on here. Anyways, and they were trying to showcase the game, some of the worlds, the combat, and things like that. And I didn't watch it. I should have watched it, and it would have been an amazing thing to watch, but I just didn't do it. I heard that there's in-depth character customization. I heard there's an amazing story, I think, and different ways to go about it. But they kind of have the same sickness. Like, of the brief thing that I watched, they had the same sickness that they have for Skyrim, where you choose a race and it dictates how people treat you. And so it's not like Mass Effect, where you just kind of there and based off of your original decisions in the get-go help shape the future from the beginning. No, it's like you choose Outlander and they're gonna treat you like an outcast. Like, they're gonna have specific dialogue for that, and it's just like, I feel like they should have not really a custom one, but a neutral one. Hopefully they do, I don't know. But I think that would be a good way to go about it. That's literally the only thing I have as a issue with it. So another thing I have, the Final Fantasy 16 demo, I played it. And if you are watching this on YouTube, it is currently the background content. Yes, it's chopped up. Yes, it's, I don't even know how long it is, but it is something I need to physically download. So basically, I had to do it in a couple segments, because the way that the game is built is like, hey, by the way, it's your first it's the first chapter, and with the first chapter, it's a good way of doing the podcast in my opinion, but is this all of it? Anyways, so basically, playing the game. What happened while playing the game? So you start a new game, and you start at level 1, and it's legitimately the start of the story from the get-go, and you get the story houses, and Final Fantasy has the way of doing things. And they also have other stuff. I don't know, it's a Final Fantasy game. How can you really pinpoint a Final Fantasy game? If I was to talk to somebody about Final Fantasy, like if they've never played it in the first place, it would be a fantasy story that takes place in different time eras, because there's multiple games. Clearly I'm playing 16, so there's different areas. Are they all connected? Yes, because it's the same universe. No, because it's different points in time, because I think 7 was its own Earth, but 8 was like, I don't remember 8, I'm just skip to 10. 10 was like reverting it back, and 12 and 13 were literal time jumps. So I couldn't tell you like this specifics. If you would want to like go look up what they call it, lore videos, and I highly suggest it. I need to do it myself, but I'm lazy. But regardless, so I started playing 16. It is the story chapters, it's the game itself, and I'm playing it, exploring it, enjoying it. And when I did finish, which took me, we'll say, an hour, it maxed me out at level 10. And then so I just logged off. It took me 3 days to do this, by the way. I say it took me an hour, but it was literally like 3, or I guess 4 technically, 15-minute sessions. I guess that's a little bit, probably 2 hours. But anyways, I digress. So it took me a good amount of time to get through this, because it's actual story. It's not combat, even though it asks you, do you want to be combat focused or not. But so I played it, and the combat is great. I enjoy the hack and slash with like system requirements, like system inputs. So I'm not saying sit there and like, oh, you have to click on the person, like 14 or 7. Yeah, 7's remake makes me upset, because it's what 16 is. Like 16 is the better version of 7, and clearly they were testing mechanics with 7 to see if people would like keep their attention span. So the more that the game is Devil May Cry is literally the genre of games that people talk about, is a hack and slash with possible timings, parries, dodges, unique attacks, abilities, and weapons. And so they finally made Final Fantasy, after 16 games, do this basically. It's crazy the thing that's been on. I need to log into 14. I'm paying for it. I need to fucking log in. I'm working with this one mature because I'm cussing a lot of it. I guess I feel more at home. Anyway, so I played it, and I enjoyed it. I 100% enjoyed the story. It kind of twists the narrative on the Archons, and I hope I'm saying it right, because the way that these people have it spelled is like Archons are spelled with an E, and I'm sure I'm butchering it. It's a Japanese game, what do you expect? We got Archons, and then I believe there was another one that they were talking about, like the Dominant. Like, are they saying Dominant, or are they saying something else? Because like in, I hate to point this out, that a game that is clearly made for another language based, like Honkai Star Rail, which I do play, guys. It will say like I forget the name. The Sterilon, I think it was, will literally have like Orb of Chaos right above it every single time. It says it, even though it's in closed caption or subtitles, however you want to look at it. It has like the name and then what it's supposed to take the meaning of it, because they clearly made up a word for it, where it has such a vague meaning that they put the original meaning on top of it, which is cool. So Final Fantasy was a great game. Story, Life Equal, I forgot. I think I was just talking about how long it took me to actually beat the game, or beat the story. And then when I did finally log back in to play it again for background content for the podcast, because it was just like, hey, the content is 1-for-1 for the chapter 1, and now you're going to chapter 2, you're done, you're maxed out level 10. I'm like, okay, so then let me just replay it so I can get some background content. I discovered that they have it's called the Archon's Challenge, and I played it, and it's literally a whole different segment of the story that you play later, and you have more abilities, you have more Archon abilities. You're clearly older because in the spoilers in the beginning of the game, you play as a young version of the character. I don't know how that would be spoilers, but whatever. But yeah, so I was definitely on top of it with that. What else? It was a lot harder. I died a lot. If you're watching the background gameplay, I'll try to include the amount of times I died in the final fight. And I want to go back and perfect it, because I watched the devs and I'm just like, I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna be better in this game. I'm gonna buy this game. I'm gonna make sure that I'm on top of my game with this. It's probably one of those games that I definitely like, actually outweigh some of the other games I play. So I play like Warframe, I play Destiny 2, I play like, I guess technically I'll sit there and I play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I guess I'll claim it just to be in my repertoire, because it's literally the last 5 games I've streamed. And Valorant, I guess Valorant right there too. So I love like hack and slash, creative, puzzle. Like, I'm on top of this shit. And Devil May Cry was a game that like I have like my original name, my original gamer tag was Dante Beast Mode, because I was unrivaled in the Bloody Palace of Devil May Cry. And Bloody Palace is a point-based system that you do combos and things like that. And I literally did they had one for Devil May Cry 4 right before DMC came out. They're like, hey, download this and you get a score and you'll enter a chance to win DMC for free. And I entered it, and they said I ranked in the top 200. I think it was 200 or 500. I'll take the benefit of the doubt and say 500. But out of like, I think 2,000. It was a very small number for a demo. It was like an Xbox demo. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I think it was, if I remember right, it was using like the DMC character and weapons. And oh man, I was on top of that shit, and I loved it. And when DMC came out, I treaded through the obtaining all the weapons. It took 10 freaking levels. But yeah, Devil May Cry is definitely one of those games that I have more knowledge about than I need. Alright, so let me go ahead and shift things so I can get that timer going. I have BP for Diablo 4. So somebody was, I was kind of looking at topics to talk about, and they were saying they were wanting to get rid of the idea of having a battle pass in Diablo 4 because they might lose their player base, and because it's just not something that Diablo needs, because they already, in my opinion, they're already built in seasons. They don't need to add a battle pass on top of it. Like Overwatch is already doing that. They don't need to be on top of it. What else is on here? Prime Day is coming up. 5 people who died in Submersible, which is strangely all the rage right now. These notes. Yeah, there it goes. A risk of losing players. Yeah, that's the reason why they didn't want to do it. What else? Just move my notes. Cyberpunk 2077. So this game I played, and I love this game. I really do. But if you could skip the intro, hopefully they have to. Well, I don't know, because I just saw something. I might go back and play it, to be honest. I might do that before I go to bed today. But there is a side note, if you guys don't know, in 2077 Cyberpunk, there is when you do the story, the prologue, when you're starting out, when you meet the characters, do the heist, and you're trying to escape with the, I forgot what it's called, the drive, and it tells you to jump out the window. Before you jump out the window, you're allowed to look around and like basically look for an exit. And there's a spot where you can go upstairs, and it's outside, or it's upstairs, or no, it's far across the room that goes up to like the helipad. And there's 2 guards up there. You can take them out how you want, but if you raid the weapons that are in the helipad, it is a specific sword that gives you a blueprint, a gold blueprint at that, and I think it's another gun, a shotgun or something. That's another gold blueprint of the weapon as well. And it's just like, shit, how did I not know about this? Like, I played this game so much, and I didn't, because I know about the really nice hand cannon that you can get from the bedside. And I asked people back, and they're like, oh, I didn't get that one. So it's nice to know that they have a second one out there too. Like, oh, this shit's still filled with things that you didn't know about. And the last thing I kind of want to talk about, kind of wrap everything up, is fishing. Personally, I haven't gone fishing. It seems boring, but at the same time exciting. It's just for what it is. But Destiny 2 has fishing. And surprise, surprise, a lot of news outlets and like the Google Index or whatever it's called actually had an article about like it's such a waste of time. There is no need. I didn't read it, I'll be honest with you. But it just kind of made me laugh. And like, of course it's a waste of time. It's Destiny. What else are you gonna do in between the weeks? Like, you get everything done on the Tuesday. You have the entire week. Oh, by the way, Tuesdays are reset days. You have the entire week to do everything else. So, like, what are you gonna do? I guess this is a shorter podcast than most, but it's okay. I'm still trying to get the feel of things. If you want to join in the conversation, go ahead and hit me up on my Discord. Linktree's down in the description if you're on YouTube. Or I'm going to try to refrain from saying these platforms because, I don't know, shadow banning. Shadow banned is shadow banned. If you find me on the other platforms, leave comments, hit the bell, hit the red button, I think it's still technically a red button on TikTok too. Anyways, find me where you can, comment that you want to be in part of my content, and we'll set up a date and time to do things. My wife's pretty cool about things, so when it comes to things like this, if I ask her, hey, can I get like an hour without the kid, bothering me, can you just let me talk for an hour? And it could happen. So it goes for past roommates, new roommates, brother-in-law. So like, I think I had podcasts with all these people before, and I would love to have more conversations. And trust me, I would be way more prepared if that was the case, because I would actually have something to do in my free time. Again, if you guys enjoyed the content, go ahead and hit the like button. I appreciate it. It's nice to see I have a 100% positive rate out of 3 views and 2 of them hit likes. I love it. Thank you guys. I appreciate everything you guys do out there. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the content. Until next time. This is Rexian signing off.